Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show. We are here, me and Corinne Brown. Hello.
Hello.
We're going to have a great time. Listen, Corinne, I meant to tell you this backstage too. Listen, at this time, it's a good time for you guys to come into the studio, grab your virtual seats. You know the routine and you got a good visual of how it's working. You got your seat, you have your microphone attached to the actual desk or table or chair that you're sitting at, however you chose to come into the studio. And you can just lean your mic down. You can type your comments. You can actually come into the studio if you want to be a part of the studio and asking direct questions. Let me put that how you can actually join right into the studio right from the beginning. That way, sometimes people are like, Kim, send me the link, send me the link, send me the link. So I'm going to send you guys the link right from the beginning. That way, if you want to be brought into the studio to talk directly to Corinne, you're welcome to click on that link. I'll pop you into the studio and you'll be head to head right with my guest. So I am super excited to welcome to today's episode, Miss Corinne Brown. Let me pull her information up.
I love it. I'm sharing.
Studio, you'll be head to head right with my. You share it. Yeah, once you share it, then cut.
I'm sharing too. We got the little
Go ahead and share.
Devices are out today, right?
That's a good thing. So guys, we're going to have a great time today. And I want to make sure, let me pull this up, that everybody gets to know the Kim Jacobs Show. We actually have a Facebook page now, so you can definitely like the Facebook page, follow. So that way when we go live, you also are seeing it right there in the Kim Jacobs Show studio on Facebook, or you can also obviously subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube as well. And so I encourage you to do that. Corinne, let me know when you're finished.
Oh, we're good. I just did do some more later.
You already shared it?
Yep, I got it shared on my personal.
Okay, because I saw your head down. I was like, okay, let me keep talking. All right, guys. Today, I have to do this. Welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show. We're going to go ahead and this is my theme song.
I like it.
Okay, I love it. Shayla Faulkner. Isn't that great?
That is fantastic. I want a theme song.
Oh, I'm sure Shayla Faulkner may be able to provide you with one. If you are looking for a theme song, Shayla Faulkner, and Lamont Josie, he did a theme song, him and some other people, Irie Cole, and they did a theme song for me before too when I was at the old studio at Jim and Tammy Faye Baker studio. They put together a great one too. But Shayla Faulkner did my theme song, and I love it. So thank you so much, Shayla. Welcome to today's show, Corinne Brown. She is a mother of two beautiful daughters. She's also a nationally ranked director with Tupperware. We're going to talk a lot more about that. But one of the biggest things I think that I admire about Corinne is that she doesn't have a fear of asking for what she wants. And so today, as a guest on this show, you're going to learn the power of asking for what it is that you want in life. And so welcome to the show, Corinne Brown.
Thank you for having me on. Yeah. I'm telling you, there is some power in words in general.
Yeah.
You ever had someone say to you, like, choose your words wisely? You know, like I know my dad did that, or you have in lots of professions and stuff too. And a lot of people don't realize that is because there is power in words. Mm-hmm. And the meanings crystallize perceptions that shape our beliefs. They drive our behavior, and ultimately they do create our world. So it's good to know that their power arises from your emotional response. And it's how we read, how we speak, and how we hear them. So the most important word we're going to talk about today, of course, is ask.
Yes. Okay. So as we go into ask, we can just jump right into the power of asking. Why do you think it's important? Because you don't have a problem, Corinne, at all. I've known you. You're part of our Mother Dreamer movement. So you've been a part of the movement since it started. And anybody that don't know what the Mother Dreamer movement is, I'll make sure that Jeremiah. Oh, hey, I got to make sure I tell people Jeremiah, my son, is backstage helping me. And I was like, thank you, Jeremiah. So y'all, please show some love to Jeremiah today because he's behind the scenes helping me today. Thank you, Jeremiah, helping your mommy out. So I'm very grateful. But Jeremiah, make sure you type in motherdreamer.com/join. You can look into more about that as well. And we also have it on Facebook. So CORINNE, the power of asking. Let's talk about how important it is to ask. Why do you think it's an important thing to do? Because people are really afraid to ask a lot of times.
They are. But the thing is, if you don't ask for what you want, you're never going to get it. And if you don't ask, the answer is always no. Mm-hmm. So I think people get scared of going, oh, well, they're going to tell me no, especially in sales. Mm-hmm. Sales is a huge one where they're going to tell me no, they're going to shoot me down. Well, if you don't ask, it's always going to be no. But if you take the time to ask, you get a 50-50 chance that it's going to be a positive response. Right. So the question is are you showing your ask? That's what I tell my sales team when it comes to it is show your ask. And asking.
Wait a minute, because that's a real tricky. Real play on words, but let's just understand. Are you showing your ask? ASK.
ASK. Don't be getting dirty. Ask.
Just trying to make sure I understand what's happening to me over here. Okay, go ahead.
But so you have to ask for what you want. And so there's in every part of your life, and we can talk about all of them, but it's in your personal life, in your professional life, and even in your home life. Ask is something that you need to have because it helps with communication. You're asking for the things that are with your core value, what you're striving towards, what you're working towards in life. That's right. When you pray, you ask God for affirmations you want to come to abundance in your life. Mm-hmm. And in your job, you're asking for things that you want, whether you want a promotion, whether you're wanting to grow your sales, whether you want to make a sale. Because here's the thing, I'm jumping around a little bit, but with sales, if you don't ask questions to your prospect and to your customer to help them figure out how your product can offer a solution to a problem that they have, it's like not asking at all. But if you ask them the questions that make them think, oh, I need something to address this, you're able to close a sale. I'm trying to think.
So you kind of I'm big on when I was dealing a lot in my younger years too with different types of sales organizations, is finding that need and filling it type of thing, is identifying what it is that's the need out there. And then this is what I'm going to provide that's going to help fill that need. Is that what you're saying too?
Absolutely. So Jeffrey Gitomer says, people want to buy, but they don't want to be sold.
Right.
So I'll give you an example. All right. So when I do my Tupperware parties, I talk about the musher drawer in your fridge. And I ask people, how many of you guys drag your trash can all the way up to your fridge and empty out the whole contents of the musher drawer?
Okay.
How many of you have the UFOs, unidentified fridge objects?
Okay.
Asparagus, right? You're thinking about it, right?
Yes.
How many of you guys throw food away? Right? And when you throw food away, you throw what away?
Money. Right.
How would you like to put that money back in your pocket as well as in your fridge?
Right.
So here I am asking questions, right? That is going to help with offering a solution, because then I'll say this product, the Fridge Smart, is going to do that for you.
Right.
So that's the secret to sales too. I
love it. I love it. I love that, because it's but there are people, you're confident, I'm confident. So I don't have a problem with asking for what I want or what I think I should, have in a certain situation. It's no, this is what I'm really looking for. And I'm very clear about, this is what I need, and this is what I want, and this is what I expect. I expect to be treated the way that I treat you. And so it's no problem with me asking people in general. But there are people that walk around that are fearful of asking. So what advice would you give people in those kind of situations that are really terrified to say, I know I need this, but how do I bring it up? When do I bring it up? I'm nervous.
And, any person, I think not just in sales, but in life, I think we are afraid because people are always scared of what other people think of them.
Right.
But I think a lot of times we're fearful of what other people think because we're not sure what it is we really want.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where it takes time with figuring out what are your core values.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you want to manifest in your life? This is the law of attraction that goes with it too. It's being a victor, not a victim. I mean, we can talk about these things a lot, but it is deciding for any of you guys that feel wary, you know, it's just taking that first step and say, all right, listen, is this something that I want? Do I want to make a difference in my family's life? Do I want to get that other house? Do I want to move? Do I want to be in a different school district?
Mm-hmm.
Would I like to have a job where I feel appreciated?
That's right.
You know, what is it that you want? Identify that first.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have more of a conviction, I want to say, to ask for it, because you're asking for something not that's like in the clouds. You're asking for something tangible with your soul.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go from that point of view, it's more authentic to you. And when it's authentic to you, it all falls into place.
Okay. So the number one thing so far, and Jeremiah, make sure you're typing this, but the number one thing is identify what you want.
Absolutely.
So that's a big takeaway. If you don't know what you want, then you're going to get anything because you haven't identified what it is that you're even seeking. And so Jeremiah started typing in the background. I'm like, okay, type son. It's different because I can't talk to Morgan like I would talk to my son. You know, Morgan was with me for the last month, but now I have my son back there. I'm like, boy, don't you hear her saying that? You're like, okay, I quit first day. Yes, identify what you want. It's going to be very important. So make sure that you guys, because if you don't have a clue what your goal is, then how can you ever accomplish something that you don't even know what you're striving to accomplish?
Absolutely. So here's what I share with my sales team, and I think this would be great for anybody watching for everything in life. Imagine that, you know, you're in a car, right? And you have a GPS. You know, you have the ability to turn that car on. You have the ability to turn that car on. Okay. No one else does. You have to put the key in the ignition and you have to press on the gas.
Right.
But if you want to know where you're going, you have to put an address in the GPS.
That's correct.
If you don't put an address in the GPS, you're going to go around in circles. You're not going to know where you're going. And here's the thing. We all are going to run into detours in life, right? The GPS helps redirect us.
That's right.
We get back on where it is we're going. So identify what it is that is important to you. Identify what your core values are that you're wanting. Identify what you want. And then start asking for it. Now I have one more little fun tip with that identification, because this happened to me a few years ago. I had a divorce that kind of made me fall into a victim mentality instead of CORINNE most of you would know and love. That's always like, I know what I want. I got this.
I got it. You're like,
I went through a little bit of a valley, you know, it happens in life.
Yes.
So one of my girlfriends got me a little dream box. And she said, all right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to identify those things that you're wanting and write it down and put it in here. And when you do your morning devotion, when you pray for those things. But I need you to write them down. You need to take them out of your head and you need to identify exactly what you want. So I wrote down what I wanted in a new house. I wrote down what I wanted in a partner in my life because I hated being single. I wrote down all these different things that I wanted and I kept it. And then I started asking for it because I was able to identify what I was working for. And I got the house. I love my new house. I've actually got a great boyfriend now. That's fantastic.
So your bang is flipped over. I was like, you have a new flair, like a whole new swag about you going on over there, CORINNE. I was like, what's happening with CORINNE?
I give it to God. I'm telling you, he's got some plan and it's funny sometimes, but we follow. And then it's funny. I went back and I looked at my list and I was like, there's no way. And it's kind of a funny story when you think about it, because I'm like, no, I'm not dating you. And then I pull my list out and I'm like, oh my gosh, he hits everything on this list. God sent me what I asked for.
Wow. Wow. Good. That's good. Well, you know what? It's interesting because we don't have any preset questions or anything. So we're just free flowing here and talking. But some of the things that you bring up, I'm definitely going to deep dive into a little bit more. When people are going through a divorce, like you say, the normal bubbly CORINNE that we all know, you went into a valley moment is what you quote said. How do you recommend that people, because again, people watching this show are dealing with balance and how they're going to balance life through different aspects of life. How do you recommend that people get back to their joyful self, like you are right now with your bang flowing and everything,
Crazy today.
after experiencing something that you weren't expecting in your life, divorce?
Yeah. Gosh, that's a deep one. How do you get past it? Well, I think the biggest thing for me is I had a lot of therapy. I had to identify what it was. And I can say that now without wanting to cry, because I cried a lot. But it's very hard, I think, as women to admit defeat. And it's not always defeat, because we want to take on the blame. We want to say, well, it's my fault. And it's not my fault. I made a choice to be in this situation, but I also choose how I react to it. So I had to get back to that, right?
I love that.
Yeah. So, and that's the big one, is just identify, is if you are in a valley, it's number one, accepting that you are. You have to acknowledge, listen, I am in this place. I don't want to be here. And you have to want to get out of it. And I think that's a hard one, is misery loves company.
Yes. Yes.
And I think sometimes it's like you get there, and if you surround yourself with people who are settling with being in a valley, you're never going to get out of it. So align yourself with people with qualities you aspire to be like.
Good.
Align yourself with people who are positive, and I want to say faith driven, if you are faith driven, if not spiritually driven, because I mean, there is energy in this world. Quantum physics is a thing. And there is energy that flows in between all of us. So if you're around negative people, your energy will be negative. If you are around positive people, oh my gosh, the possibilities are endless.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's a good point that you made, because the first lady in our jurisdiction within the Church of God in Christ, she's over the North Carolina 2nd jurisdiction, and she's our bishop's wife. Her name is Lady Beverly Powell. She put a quote out today, and the quote was saying, "Be careful who you associate with, because even if you don't think that what they're doing is going to rub off on you, it still rubs off in some manner or form or fashion." And so I thought that was just a profound quote. And I agree, because when you're in a valley, if you're dealing with other people and they're in the valley and they're like, okay, everybody's having a pity party, then it's like, I'm going to go under here. I need somebody to kind of like lift me out of this situation that I'm feeling, versus saying, you should be feeling like this. You down in the dumps and you should stay in the dumps. As a matter of fact, just go. You're like, huh? I need help. I don't need somebody to make me feel worse than I already feel. So I agree with that theory.
Yeah. I think the hardest thing with that too is that you have to ask yourself. So it goes back with the ask, because it is personal. Ask yourself the hard questions and be willing to be honest with yourself about those questions, because that's what's going to help you. If you don't want to change, you never will. No, you can't do it for anybody else but yourself. And that's no matter what you're going through in life, no matter where you are, you can't say, I'm going to do this for my kids. Because I tried that for a while, and I love my kids. I would do anything.
And do what for your kids? Oh, stay.
Anything. Like if you have people want to make a change in your life, whether you're in a valley, whether you want something for home here, everything else. One thing I have learned from personal experience is you have to do it for yourself first.
Oh yeah.
And if not, it won't be authentic to you. And that goes back to that. Ask yourself those questions. I love my children. I do so many things for my children. Like they are everything to me. But I have to take care of me first. So I take care of me so I can take care of them. So it's, am I going where I want to go so I'm not resentful? Am I going where my heart is bleeding for? Because if not, it will find a way to sabotage.
That's right. That's right. I agree with you. That's the same thing with the talk show. The talk show is for me. It's for me because it's my goal and my dream since I was a child. So, I mean, I've had this dream and passion, and muting the television and reading the closed captioning out loud is something that's just my own personal dream. And so, and it doesn't matter what platform it's on, as long as I'm getting the opportunity to meet Corinne Browns in life, the fresh experts and people like you, I get the opportunity to live my dream. And so I am living my dream right now. I'm not waiting to live my dream when I get onto a certain stage. My dream is happening right today. and it's for me, and I'm grateful for that. I'm very grateful. So I agree with you. Then I can be a better mom. I can be a better person. I can be a better friend, a better daughter. Or, I can be a better anything to people because I'm able to grab hold to what's somewhat important to me too. This is good. Okay. Oh, here Jeremiah's typing a bunch of stuff. He said, "Follow your dreams." This is all stuff you're saying.
And that's the big one. Ask yourself the hard questions. So I love quotes. And this is it's a proverb. It says, by asking for the impossible, we obtain the possible. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of that goes to it too, is don't think your dream's ever too big. Still ask for it, because you will fall where you're meant to fall.
Okay. That's really good. I'm gonna put that quote up. Really, really good. So when have you found, like, it's a couple of things. You're a mother of 2 daughters too. Mm-hmm. So I would like to hear, how do you advise your children to ask for what they want, so that people that are watching get a chance to know how they can train their children to ask for what they want?
Well, I think the big thing is make sure that the children in general, remember how when kids are little, or at least I think all of us did, there was no glass ceiling, right?
Right.
You wanted to be an astronaut. You wanted to be the first lady. You wanted to do this. You had no limiting beliefs.
Right.
Okay. So I think that goes along with encouraging that in them, is helping them to find their authentic purpose. If they want to do character voices, encourage it. If they want to do anime, it's not dorky, encourage it. If they want to dress up as cosplay, let them.
Right.
Let them ask the questions themselves of what do they enjoy doing, and allow them to do that. Now, don't let them go jump off a bridge.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah.
But personally, I say don't be a helicopter mom and don't be a lawnmower mom where you pave the way. You got to let them ask the questions they want of themselves.
That's right.
And you have to let them be willing to ask for what they want from you. Like, hey, if they don't want to do dance, but hey, I want to do tennis, don't shoot them down.
That's right.
Right? Let's encourage their dreams. Let's build them up. And then, of course, as a mom, I go, they better ask permission and they better use their manners. So when you say yes, ma'am, you say no, ma'am.
That's all required. I do. My children, every child is required to say that. Whether people say it today or not, my children are required to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. Not just, what? Well, that'll put you right on punishment. That'll put you on punishment in my house. So make sure you don't do that. I agree. So, and everything that you touched on, like anime and basketball and dance and working out, whatever, each of my children have their own individual goals and dreams. And so you have to meet the child where they are. And I like that. I like that so much, because you get a chance to, in my opinion, customize things to each individual child. And so that way they're not afraid to ask, and because they're not going to be shut down by mommy or daddy, they're going to be encouraged.
Well, let's think about it this way. When our children are younger and they're in our home, they have the protection of our home, mm-hmm. right? They have the ability to try things out. And if they fall, we'll pick them back up.
That's right.
Right? So let's get them in the habit of being willing to ask for those things now. So that way, when they go off and when we're not right beside them, when they're on their own, they're also not afraid. And they're going to have so many more steps in adulthood that so many people don't have, because people don't know how to ask for anything in their 20s. Like, how do you not know how to ask? Like, you don't know how to go to the grocery store? Like, you don't know how to do your laundry? Like, I mean, I think they all go hand in hand in a lot of ways.
That's right. That's right. You know?
So like at home, I ask them to do chores.
Yeah, I do too. It's like I'm asking someone, you can put whichever one of your names in this blank right here. I've already cooked. So fill in the blank as to who's going to take the trash out, who's going to clean the dishes, who's going to do these things, because I'm not doing it. I've already done what I'm going to do. So let's use some teamwork.
And teamwork is better anyways. I mean, that's a life skill, right?
A basic one. Right.
And how many people don't have it? I mean,
that's right. That's right. So now we're gonna go to well, actually, instead of just going to a flash round, I'm gonna talk more about you for a second, because I want people to hear more about you being this nationally ranked star director with Tupperware. So then people may have more questions as they learn more about what got you to stardom within Tupperware. talk about this. This is an amazing accomplishment. So tell us about your Tupperware journey.
Okay. Well, in Tupperware in general, I was born, raised, and burped in Tupperware. I know it's funny. I said burped. People said, what did you just say? Born, raised, and burped.
Mm-hmm.
A Tupperware bowl, if you're like, I don't get it. So just so you know, with Tupperware, it's like the first plastic. Okay, we have a reverse paint can seal that literally burps for freshness.
Right,
okay?
Right.
So my mom, I love play on words. So my mom sold Tupperware growing up. In fact, my mom and dad still do. They are celebrating their 40-year anniversary in Tupperware, actually in September, I think is the official month.
Well, how long have you been married?
They've been married for 45.
Oh my goodness.
44. Their anniversary is on the 14th.
Oh my goodness. 40 years. And then they've also been in Tupperware together for 4 years.
Yeah, wow. 40 years of mom's in. Actually, my dad technically would be 36 because he was a research biologist. Oh, and he quit his job at Duke Triangle to do Tupperware with my mom full time.
Oh, that's so inspiring.
Right? I mean, they paid for my and my brother's college in cash.
Get out of here.
So if anyone ever says direct sales is a joke, come talk to me. Like, I've lived it. I've seen it from growing up, learning to be an entrepreneur, to now raising my kids in it. I mean, and this is where I look at hills and valleys. This business has worked with me. So here, I'll give you a timeline and a fun breakdown. Okay. So born, raised, and burped. Okay. So I grew up in this business. I always swore I would never sell plastic bowls. Okay. I was going to be cool. I was going to be a career woman. I went to school for graphic design. I got my degree, but while I was in college, I had a shoe addiction. You know, tuition money only went so far, so I had to get a job. Now, where was I going to get a job that was flexible to my schedule? Because I was a little bit of an overachiever. I was doing a 5-year program in 3 years, so I had to find something that worked for me. In high school, I had worked in my mom's office, and I had done her newsletter that went to her company and organization. So I was like, I knew how much money people made. Okay. Wow. I knew how easily they could come in. I saw the numbers. I was like, I can try this for a month. If I hate it, I'll quit.
Okay.
Well, last month I celebrated 19 years in Tupperware. So it just goes to show, you know, I got my degree. I have it in graphic design. I went to work for somebody else, and I was like, I don't do well listening to other people. And Tupperware giving me this free car, tax, tags, tires, title, and insurance.
Right.
I just went on my first cruise for free. I didn't pay for anything. I think I'm going to keep doing this Tupperware thing.
Oh my goodness. 19 years is huge in my, you know, for our generation type of thing. To be committed to anything for 19 years.
Yeah. I was like, it's like 2 decades.
Oh, what does that cup say? Mother of what?
All things.
Oh yeah, you are the mother, the mother of all things. For you know what, Corinne, you're just such a joy to even know. So anybody that's out here watching today, if there's anything that you can do to get connected with Corinne, the Fresh Expert, she's called the Fresh Expert, and let me share with you how you can find her. I have her information right here. Here is the website. Oh wait, here's her website and information. And again, she's a fun, even if you were never in Tupperware, the point is she's so fun to get to know and become her customer or partner with her. She's a joy to be with and to experience. So let me put this up for you to be able to know how to follow Corinne Brown. She's right on Facebook at Fresh Expert. She does all kinds of weekly tips and how you can, I've been on a couple of her episodes too, and she'll show you how to, you know, like microwave some stuff. And it could be like banana bread with, we did banana bread with chocolate.
We did a banana smoothie, and then we did a banana nut bread in the microwave in like 2.5 minutes.
And my children loved it. I brought it home and they were like, this was so good. And it was made in the Tupperware safe containers that she provided. It was incredible.
And tomorrow I'm doing peach cobbler and fresh whipped cream.
Oh my gosh. And so people can see that right there on Fresh Expert on Facebook.
The Fresh Expert.
What time, Corinne?
Yeah. So go on there, go to the Fresh Expert on Facebook. And you can view it and it'll go live. So make sure you're following. You'll get a notification. I typically go live around 11 o'clock.
Okay.
With the pandemic, times have changed a little bit, but
no, with that boyfriend times. Because I mean, you go live at 11 now. All of a sudden, you.
I'm like, when am I supposed to be? Sorry, I'm trying to plug my computer in here so it doesn't die on me. Absolutely. It's great. All right, but let me tell you the rest of this fun story, because this is why sales is so great. Okay. So you ask, right? You ask for what you want. So I bought my first house by the time I was 21 because of Tupperware.
Okay.
Because I decided I wanted to make so much money and I worked for it. And this is why you ask for what you want and you bring it to you. I got married young. I have my two beautiful children within, and then, life happened. Got divorced, and I was in my spiral that I mentioned before for a few years. Moved, and was just like, I had like 5 crazy years, I want to say. And then you get out of it. But through all of this, right, my Tupperware business has allowed me to pay my bills. I do everything on my own. Tupperware supports it all the way. I've been everywhere from number 4 in North America in Tupperware to like number 5 in my region. But it's okay, because I look at this. What determines true success? Are you hitting your core values? So I asked to be able to provide for my children, to be able to provide for myself, and to be able to take the time for self-care. And that's made all the difference, because now I'm like, all right, the world's my oyster. I got this now. I found it back. Let's go see what we can do. And now I'm asking for bigger things. Now I'm asking for $1 million team. Now I'm asking for, I want a mountain house. Like, this is what I want now. Right? So determine what true success means to you. Means being authentic to who you are. Identify that. If you have a partner in life and you guys want to have your values aligned, maybe you should sit down and both write down what is it you're wanting that you would ask for separately, and let's see how they work together. And then you're asking for things together, and there's power in that too.
Oh, you better believe there is. I mean, literally, my husband and I used to put everything up on the refrigerator that we had a goal or a dream to accomplish. And every single thing that we would take a picture of and put it on the refrigerator, it became a reality. Not one thing that we put before us in a vision capacity did we not get accomplished. And I just believe that I'm a big believer that God wants to know what it is that you want to have happen, so that he can know, not just in a vague way, but in a very specific way of how to help you reach those particular goals. So I'm a big believer in visualization and affirmation and understanding what your goals are, so that you can put them out there so they can become a reality,
Absolutely. What is it? I love Proverbs. Danish proverb. He who is afraid of asking is ashamed of learning.
Type that, Jeremiah. He who is afraid of asking is afraid of
ashamed of learning. Ashamed of learning. I think I put it in the chat earlier.
Oh, you did? Okay, let me see. Okay. He who would, I got to go back and look through all of these.
He who is afraid of asking.
Oh yeah, here it is. Okay.
Of learning.
Jeremiah, he's funny because he was like, you know what? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put all of the stuff she's saying that she's gonna want at one time. And I was like, there's a whole bunch of stuff over there. He said, I got you tomorrow. I'll put it in right when you say it. Okay. He who is afraid of asking is ashamed of learning. What a powerful quote. It's a Danish proverb. Very good. If you're afraid of asking, then you're ashamed of learning. Yeah. That means that you're just done with learning pretty much. You're like, I'm not going to ask because I think I know what I need to know.
Right. I mean, I say that and let's look at sales. Let's give you some like tangible, concrete. Anyone watching, if you're in sales, if you have a business that you're working for and you're working to grow. I know one of my little isms that I say to my sales team is the day you quit asking, the day you give yourself a handicap.
That's right.
Because we must never quit learning, and you're never going to know more than everybody else. If you do, then you've given yourself a handicap because someone else is going to find something else and you limit your potential.
I agree.
Right? I mean, it's kind of crazy, like how all this stuff all kind of works together. But let's look at this for business. Okay. So if you're in sales, have a card that you put all over the place, just like your goals.
Right.
Who have you asked today? Who have I asked to join my team? Who have I asked to do a party? Who have I asked to do a makeover if you're in the makeup industry?
Mm-hmm.
Who have you asked to sample this?
Mm-hmm.
Who have you asked about if they are living toxic free or not? Whatever it is you are selling, showcasing, and we sell ourselves, honestly, with sales, you sell yourself. But who are you asking the questions to see if you can help offer them a solution?
I love it.
So
I love it. I love this. This is a great interview. The importance of being able to ask. Okay, so we're going to go to a flash round, Corinne. And what happens is people will get a chance to ask you questions, send shout outs. I already put the link in early on so you guys can pop right in and go head to head and talk with Corinne directly. Let me go to our sponsor for today first. Our sponsor of today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show is, let me pull this up. Okay, it's Deeper Than Beauty. Deeper Than Beauty, you can shop there, and we have all kinds of products that are only the products that are in stock or what's being listed right here. And also you can see music box, lip gloss, journals, sunglasses. It's all kinds of products. So you'll be able to kind of view all of the different products that are available right there on the deeperthanbeauty.com page. And so that's the sponsor for today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. I wear a lot of these different colors myself, so you get a chance to see what I actually wear and like. And also, people often ask me about my skincare regimen and places that I shop for online. I'm a big shopper online for a lot of my household products, my vitamins and different things like that. That's through a different company. And if you're ever interested in learning more about that, then you can just inbox me directly or email me at kim@thebalancedoctor.tv, and I'll give you all of the details pertaining to that. And let's see. So our flash round, let's put some of these comments up. The comment that you made about he was afraid of asking is ashamed of learning. Patricia Hall says, wow, that's powerful.
Quotes are amazing. I'm like a quote freak.
Me too. I have thousands of quotes, all kind of places. Javon Jackson, my brother, he said, well stated, very well stated.
I love it. Well, here's a fun one. Any of you guys that are in sales, I like statistics too. They say if you ask for something and then you follow it up with a because, your success rate is 60% or higher. So you'll ask a question, well, you know, what you like? Well, because you're helping to pull things full circle. So like next level. So yeah, that's really good. Really good. I love that. I'm going to start using that more often. Good morning, ladies. This is my mommy. Mom.
We also have a church mother on here. She's in her 80s and she watches every day faithfully, literally gets dressed and sits at the desk, but she won't type comments because she's like, look, I'm just glad to be on this link, baby. And that's Mother Julia Harper. So make sure you say hi to her. Okay. Oh, Shannon. Shannon said a lot of great points. Tina Watson said, hello.
Is with Tupperware with me.
Oh, hi, Tina.
Ray Company, our big Tupper family. Gotta love our Tupper family.
Oh, speaking of which, with Tupperware, everybody, just so you know, Corinne actually, in one of our homes that we lived in, I always just keep things like my cereal boxes and everything. And I thought it was pretty organized. But Corinne actually came over and did a before and after situation in that particular cabinet. And she organized it like you could never imagine. She put everything in these like nice plastic Tupperware containers.
Yep.
And they were, well, I mean, the cereal lasts much longer, all because of that Tupperware and all kinds of things that you did to organize that cabinet. So I appreciate you.
Well, you deserve the best. Remember that.
Thank you. Thank you. Love you too, ladies. Lianne said, hey, Lianne Hofer.
Oh, you should have Lianne as a guest. She is,
I would love to have Lianne.
Expert, and she specializes in Reiki as well. Like she's super fly. She's one of these ones that I aspire to be more like.
Oh, I know. I love Lianne. I when I see people make comments, I'm like, what? You haven't been on my show yet? What is the problem? Come on. So we'll definitely be communicating, Lianne. All right. And I'd love to have you on. Let's see. Any other flash round comments? Okay, I don't see. Oh, I see new comments coming in. Oh, love Reiki. Allison Skeet said, I love Reiki.
I'm telling you, it's all about the energy. Energy flows, frequencies. Seriously, they relate to our desires.
Good morning, Allison. Good morning. And wow, that's powerful. Okay, I said that. Hey, you guys are a great studio audience. So I'm glad to have you as a part of the studio audience. I encourage you, if you haven't subscribed to the Kim Jacobs Show on YouTube, make sure you do that. Do that today when we're done. Just go and take a moment. And Jeremiah, my son, is helping me backstage today. So I'm very grateful for his help. Let me make sure I put that. Thank you, Jeremiah. And I'll put the comment right there so you guys get a chance to know where you can click to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show after today's episode. CORINNE, what is the biggest advice that you would have for people that are really struggling within their industries and they're trying to figure out what else they can do? You represent Tupperware. So what kind of advice would you give to people that are looking to transition from their current jobs based on all that's happening and layoffs and jobs getting cut significantly with COVID-19? Any advice on how they could transition smoothly to a non-traditional industry?
Well, I think nowadays they call it a gig, right? So it's not a side job or a hustle even. It's, I need to have a side gig. And I think it really comes down to is, well, what do you enjoy? I mean, I can't sell a product that I don't love. Now I could sell ice to an Eskimo. Don't get me wrong. I've had a lot.
You could. But
it's, if I don't feel passionate about it, I couldn't. Like, I mean, with makeup, I wouldn't want to sell makeup. It's not my thing.
Right.
But I'm really big about fresh food. So that's where Tupperware comes in. So find something, if you're looking for a side gig, start off with number one, what product do you love? Because if it's something that you love, something that you use, you're not selling, it should sell. You are literally just, I cook my dinner and I share what I'm cooking with. I show what I bought and I show how much money it saved. Like, it's practical. Literally, it shouldn't be hard, because if it's hard, you're not meant to do it. And I don't mean hard as in it's not easy, because nothing in life is worth having that's easy. Okay. Right. But it's simple. When you truly are passionate about something, and if it's something that works with you, it's simple to do. Does that make sense? Right. You got to put the work in. Let's just be honest. Okay. You pray like it's up to God. You work like it's up to you.
Right.
Okay. If you sit around, you can, and that goes with the asking too. You can ask all day, but if you're not willing to make steps too, don't expect a miracle to happen. Now, miracles do happen, but your probability of it happening is probably a lot lower down in percentages. So decide what sort of thing you enjoy doing, what product that you love, and then ask somebody in that profession about it. Good. Right? Ask about not only joining, but ask about their program. And I'm going to tell you now, do make sure you ask the questions, because I know direct sales, I like to say, is a fruit basket. Okay. They're all fruit, but it's not apples and oranges. Some of them are bananas. Make sure you take the time to get to know them, because on the back end, it's a lot different once you get into the back office sort of situation. So ask the questions and then ask yourself, can I see myself doing this? And does this make me happy?
That's really good. Really good. Great feedback. And people that are looking to save time in the kitchen, every time I've tuned in on Tuesdays and I've been on your show, I've actually learned so many time-saving tips. So what are some of the takeaway time-saving tips you can share with people today that are, I do have some questions, right? CORINNE, you're like, girl, for you to say you had no questions, I'm like, I might be gifted at this.
I mean, there's so many directions we can go. And I love you. It's like, let's find out what rabbit hole we go down, let's just see where it goes.
I love it.
Okay, for time-saving tips, I think the big one is meal prep is king. Whether you are meal prepping, literally like meal prepping your whole lunches for the week. I know right now we have our lunches on sale. You were on with me about this time last year, and we were doing for back to school. My kids are choosing to do virtual school this year because in Fort Mill, they have a choice. But doesn't mean they're not packing their lunches. Let me tell you something. We are staying with the structure because mommy needs structure. So,
especially with the boyfriend.
Well, we'll talk about that another day. Okay.
Right.
Well, you got to take time to do that. So make sure that you are meal prepping. Make sure you have quality containers to preserve your produce. I mean, that's what Tupperware does. The fresh, why I say I'm the fresh expert, is because it's fun, refreshing, everyday solutions for your home. So whether you are working towards doing quick meal prep, whether you want to see our pressure cooker where you can do a 5-ingredient chili in 15 minutes, dinner is done while your feet is resting on the couch. Whether you want to make sure those carrots actually last a month because you're tired of throwing them away, because they end up in the landfill. Did y'all know that? When you throw food away, it ends up in a landfill, and it's a huge contributor to greenhouse gas emissions.
Aww.
So just saying, don't think, oh, I'm throwing my food away. It's no big deal. Yeah, it is. It's just as bad as the other stuff. And a plastic bag, it takes 1,000 years to decompose.
OMG. Well, let me ask you a quick question right quick. I know I'm interrupting for a second, but because this thought, I don't have it written down. But is it possible for you to come on one day and do some examples of some things for back to school? Because I know back to school is happening for a lot of people, but maybe preparing some stuff. And I know we're doing a sit down interview now, but maybe a real in action with you in your Tupperware studio, cooking some stuff or doing some stuff.
Yeah, I'd be honored. We can talk about I'll give you 5 fun things for the week. We'll even talk about water bottles, because 8 out of 9 water bottles are not recycled. So please stop buying single-use plastic bottles. Okay. Your sea life will thank you.
Why am I sitting here like I'm a frozen mannequin? Because I'm like, I didn't know that.
That's because it's real to you. And anyone else watching, that's what I'm saying. You ask the questions like, how many of you guys do throw them away? Even if you recycle them, half of them aren't really recycled. And they end up in the ocean. I got to remember the numbers. We'll do this next time. It's like 471 million water bottles end up in the ocean and landfills every year. Maybe it's more than that. We'll do one and I'll have all my facts in front of me, because I remember some, but it's more conveniently remembering things sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's fine. But the thing is too, I know that a lot of the food that you prepare is so easy and simple and it's fun, and you get your children involved because they're excited about it. I've done that with my daughter on a few different things, and I was like, this is something Miss CORINNE taught us. And it's something so simple that everyone's excited about doing because it doesn't take a lot of time.
Right. And it shouldn't be difficult, guys. I mean, seriously. I mean, there's all these like meal prep services where they can mail stuff to your home and you can do it. And it's exciting because it seems simple, but your meals don't need to cost $5 a piece, because they can cost $1 a piece. And it's just a matter of taking that time to plan ahead. And again, having the right tools. So maybe we can talk about the different tools that are available to you, and then you can figure out what works best for you, because it's not one size fits all. But it's one size fits most, and you can find the solution that fits best for you.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, what any other things that you feel like I really don't want to make sure I want to make sure before we would ever close this episode, I get a chance to say this, or this, or any other things that you know that you want to share with the audience?
Reading through my notes here, I'm like, what did we miss?
I wonder, what are you doing over there? You looking like.
I know. I'm like, what do I have down here? Here, I'll give you another quote. This is by Cialdini. A well-known principle of human behavior says that when we ask someone to do us a favor, we will be more successful if we provide a reason. People simply like to have reasons for what they do.
I like it.
So that goes back to that thing I highlighted briefly about just say because. Don't just say, hey, I want you to do this. Say, hey, could you do this because it would help benefit this and this.
So let me try it. Let me see. Could you all help me? You might be able to help me with this, but could you all subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show? Because it will allow you to be in the studio audience and be alerted right away whenever we go live. That gives you a chance, if you're busy and your day is going all as a day goes, and you don't have to worry about whether you're going to miss the episode or not, because you get a ding, ding, ding. And now you're in the studio audience because you simply subscribed.
That's perfect. Yeah. Could you please click this link? Because.
That's funny. Okay, good. Okay, so I just wanted to test it out to see if that would work.
I think it's great. And it is true. I mean, do subscribe, because Kim's got some great guests. Like, mean, she's got some big hitters over here. I'm sitting here going, ooh, I get to be on too.
You are on. Thank you for coming on.
I love it. I love it. If I keep my hair together, I'd be better.
More studio audience. It says, Allison says, I am big on recycling. Funny thing is, before we had excess, we learned from grandparents, do not waste anything. We also use leftovers to create new dishes. Omelets are the best way I reuse foods. That's good.
That is good. I like to call those planovers, Allison, because it's not that it's leftover. You planned to use that on something else.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, seriously, let's think about this. I mean, with the pandemic, have you guys noticed that people are having a shift in their mentality because we're at home more? People are doing more home projects themselves, so they're actually getting their hands into it. People are doing more cooking at home, and they're learning, oh my gosh, how much do I save? And this tastes better than if I were to spend $40 at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And then when you go out to eat, it just changes perspective. And I think that's a good thing to realize. All of you guys have the ability to kick butt at anything you choose to. And if you don't think you can, then ask someone who has the qualities you want, and then you'll learn.
Good point. Good feedback. Oh, here is our mother. She's a supervisor of women in our Church of God in Christ in the North Carolina 2nd jurisdiction. And it's like about 90-something churches or more that she works within the women's department. So she's a great person to be on here to hear about this Tupperware and what you do as well. She said, awesome.
I love it. And see, this is where I could ask you guys, please make sure you like the Fresh Expert, because then I will know more things that you would like to see. So when I do my Fresh Tip Tuesdays, I can be sure to give you fresh tips that do save you time, space, and waste as well.
I love it. See, that right there was that's good. Let me put that in the comment section. I just learned something from CORINNE Brown. She's like, oh yeah, let's talk about that for a second. I'm gonna pop that up. So let me try this. Make sure that you all like the Fresh Expert, because she's going to be giving you tips, but she also wants to hear from you as to what it is that you really want, so that she can customize her weekly Fresh Expert channel to you. It's no need to do a channel and then you don't get the opportunity to customize it to the viewers. So if you subscribe and like and follow the Fresh Expert, you're going to have an awesome experience with CORINNE Brown.
I love it.
This is good. We can do this all day, right?
Oh, duh.
It's like I told you, CORINNE, we vibe very well. So we could be just doing this all the time, literally.
We'll have a monthly spot. That's what we'll do. Fridays with the Fresh Expert.
Oh, yeah. We have Freestyle Fridays here on the Kim Jacobs Show. So you can come on any Friday and pop in a tip or whatever. I had Chris, he's a comedian. He popped in one Friday. My friend Sean came on and she talked about the learning pods and how parents are getting together and creating learning pods for their children. So it's been a lot of great topics we've talked about on Freestyle Fridays as well. We talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So it doesn't matter.
That's a great thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I am excited that you have came into the studio today here on the Kim Jacobs Show. You're part of the Mother Dreamer movement as well. You want to say anything about being a Mother Dreamer member?
Well, I think it's always good. Like I mentioned before, you got to ask for what you want, and you need to ask for the right people to surround yourself with. So, I mean, the Mother Dreamers really are mothers that dream, and we're all a mother, whether we're physically one or not, because we're here to help mother the earth in some ways. So make sure you're part of such a great group. This group is fantastic. It's very, eclectic is the word that came to mind, but I think diversity is also a good one. But you think about it, it's a little bit of everything where it's, if you have a question, these women can lift you up and they support. And I think that's such a good thing to have support, that positive energy that we talked about before. And so ask for what you need, ask for what you want, and ask to join the Mother Dreamer movement, because it will benefit your life.
Oh, awesome. I was trying to find the comment, but I found it. Okay, motherdreamer.com/join if you want to be a part of the group with other mothers because we all work together and encourage each other as a sisterhood, as we get a chance to bond and hear each other's journey. We all are from all different walks of life, but we all share a common bond. Most of us have children. And like you said, some of the people in the group don't have children physically, but they are definitely mothering other children, whether it's extended family members, adopted children, whatever the case may be, they're a mother to a lot of different situations. So come on and be a part of it. That's really good. So now your mom, I know you want to pay tribute to your mommy, especially since she brought you into this Tupperware journey. What would you say to her as just a thank you?
Oh gosh, well, I actually had dinner with her last night. I love my parents. I am very blessed that I have a great core unit. That I have never. I think I'm very blessed that unconditional love has never been a question. Mm-hmm. Where it's it's there, and I hear these people talk about their parents, and I'm like, oh, well, I don't know what you're talking about because I'm very blessed with them, and I think that's the big thing is asking. And this is trying to go back to stay on theme a little bit, but growing up with me, my parents, there was no glass ceiling. Whatever I asked that I wanted to do, they said, well, then go do it. Work for it. Go do this. I wanted to be a surgeon at one point until I realized I don't like blood. And then I was going to be an artist. And they like sent me to private lessons. I'm actually a pretty good artist. I have another business, just so you know, Bellarine by CORINNE. I do pet portraits, hand stamp bracelets, and I teach paint and wine nights.
What is it called?
Bellarine by CORINNE. Here, I'll write it down for you.
Okay.
But the thing is, they always encourage that. So so I did that. And then I realized, well, I'd be a starving artist. Or how can I make money doing my art? But my parents never said, don't do that.
Right.
They said, well, what makes you happy? And even through like the phases of my life recently where I've questioned everything, like, do I want to stay with Tupperware? Do I want to go off and write the book? Do I want to do my e-course? Like, where do I want to go? Homage to my parents is that they always said, well, ask yourself what makes you happy.
Yes.
And go for it. So kudos to them and to all the parents that lift their children up to do that as well.
Awesome, CORINNE. And see, that was an on-the-spot question as well. And I mean, you're just gifted at this. You're gifted at being able to just flow. Okay. Also, make sure you guys know that at 12 o'clock, we have Quest Church prayer line begins, and you are able to join in. I'm going to pop that in here. Thank you, Jeremiah. Make sure you all know that you can actually just join in on the prayer line by calling 978-990-5000. Access code is 322083 pound. And every day, Pastor Jacobs is actually praying for families that are impacted with COVID. It's specifically a lot about dealing with COVID-19 and people that are impacted, infected, you name it. People that are even in isolation, elderly. A lot of people need prayer right now that are dealing with this on a daily basis. It's real in their families, still happening very frequently. And so join in on that prayer line and be a part of it. And if you ever want to be a part of supporting the Kim Jacobs Show, why? Because if you want to support the Kim Jacobs Show, I'm able to give some things to some of my team members that volunteer with the Kim Jacobs Show. I'm able to bless them with dinner every once in a while or help pay for something. So I know Jeremiah definitely is that comment. See, that comment is right there. Support the Kim Jacobs Show. He says, support the Kim Jacobs Show right there. And that's how you do it. And your support allows me to help take care of some behind the scenes things with the Kim Jacobs production team. And I really appreciate everybody that works with us. So you can do that through Cash App, Kim Jacobs Inc., or paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. Let me put CORINNE's information back up again. Very important that you all check out the Fresh Expert and follow CORINNE on Facebook under the Fresh Expert. And it's every Tuesday at 11 o'clock a.m. So you can definitely pop over there and be a part of her Fresh Expert experience on Tuesdays. And check out her artwork as well, which is Bellarine by CORINNE. Bellarine by CORINNE. And so you'll be able to enjoy that. Any closing comment? We're about to close out today's episode. I'm really trying to stick within 11 to 12 as our time frame. Any last comments, CORINNE? And I'm going to talk to you backstage when we're done.
Oh yeah. So I'm going to give you my favorite quote ever. Okay. I did this Optimist speech contest when I was in the 7th grade. Okay. And this is what I live by. And I want all of you guys to remember this. Helen Keller said, "Your success and happiness lies in you. Resolve to keep happy, and that joy in you shall form an invincible host against difficulties."
Say it one more time.
All right. Your success and happiness lies in you. Resolve to keep happy, and that joy in you shall form an invincible host against difficulties.
And I cannot type it that fast, and I don't know if Jeremiah got it, but you guys,
I'll put it on the page later for you. That way they can.
Okay, so Corinne's going to put that right on there. But your success and happiness
lies in you.
Lies in you.
Mm-hmm.
It lies in you. Remember that as we close out today's broadcast. Thank you, Corinne, for being my guest.
Yay! And then just don't forget, show your ask. Okay? Ask.
Make sure you guys show your ASK. All right. Have a great day. Tune in tomorrow. I have another great guest on. You're going to love meeting her tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. God bless you all.